Whether you're craving a classic or looking for the perfect St. Patty's Day hangover cure, this corned beef hash and eggs is just what the doctor ordered. Shredded corned beef and diced potatoes are cooked up in a cast iron skillet until ultra crispy. And then they're simmered with eggs for the best breakfast or brunch recipe. And since this is a humming table where we make healthier spins on classic recipes, you know that this one is going to be so much better for you than the canned kind. So let's jump straight in and get to cooking. I recently made this dish when my family was visiting, and I had no idea that my mother-in-law was obsessed with that canned corned beef as a kid. She gave this recipe rave reviews, and I think that you will too. The star of the show today is, of course, corned beef. You can either buy it from your deli counter and get them to cut it pretty thick, or you can make your own and use up the leftovers. I've got a great Instant Pot recipe that I think you'll love. Once you make it, you're gonna wanna use half a pound of the cooked beef, which will yield about 1.5 cups once it's shredded. Cut the beef until it is finely chopped. The smaller the bits, the crispier they'll get when they're cooked up. Next, we'll be prepping all of the vegetables. You'll wanna first finely dice half of a red or a green bell pepper and half of a small sweet onion. You also need 1 pound of Yukon Gold potatoes. Dice these into very small cubes, no more than about 1/2 inch thick. It's very important you get these to be nice and small so they crisp up fully. You also want to make them as close to the same size as possible so everything cooks at the same rate. And one last thing before we start cooking. The type of pan you use is key in getting everything nice and crispy. So to make the best corned beef hash, it's essential that you use a well-seasoned cast iron skillet. If you don't have one, a large stainless steel skillet will also do. Place the skillet over medium heat and add 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 tablespoon of oil. The oil won't burn as easily, while the butter gives the dish great flavor. However, you can always sub one for the other. Once the butter is melted, add the chopped bell pepper and onion to the skillet. Sauté for 3 to 4 minutes or until tender. And then add in 3 cloves of finely minced garlic. Continue sautéing for another 1 to 2 minutes. Push all of the vegetables to one side of the skillet and add 1 tablespoon of butter. Let it melt and then add the cubed potatoes and corned beef. Mix the potatoes and corned beef until well combined. Cook for 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. The longer you let the mixture sit before stirring, the crispier the potatoes and corned beef will get. But be careful not to let them burn. During the last 2 to 3 minutes, add in 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of dried oregano, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix the potatoes, beef, and vegetables together until well combined. If you want just classic corned beef hash, you can continue cooking the potatoes for a few more minutes or until they're tender. But if you'd like to add a few eggs, you can make 4 to 5 wells in the center of the potatoes, about 1 to 2 inches wide, or about the size of an egg. Drizzle 1 tablespoon of oil in all of them, and then crack 1 egg in each well. Sprinkle an additional 1/4 teaspoon of salt and black pepper over all of the eggs. Cover the skillet with a lid and reduce the heat to medium-low. Cook for 7 to 8 minutes or until the eggs are cooked to your desired doneness. It will take 7 minutes for over easy eggs and closer to 8 minutes for over hard eggs. Serve the hash immediately with a sprinkle of fresh parsley. Oh yeah. Now this is a breakfast that you're gonna wanna wake up for. With that salty corned beef, those crispy potatoes, this would totally cure even the worst hangovers. But if you want a few more morning meal ideas, be sure to check out these other healthy breakfast recipes. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one.